Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Tammy and this is Happiness Created. Today I have 4 beautiful faith-related projects that I would like to share with you. This is part of the Creating Faith Challenge that is hosted by Krafty Leeny and DIY with Nadia. I hope that you enjoy this video and let's get started. So for the first project, I'm taking this coffee sign, one of the little clipboard picture holders, and the calendar, God's Promises. And I'm going to be using one of the smaller pictures from the back of the calendar. Now all I'm doing is just clipping that little picture to the clipboard, and that's pretty much all there is for that. And then I'm going to take some elephant chalk paint from Waverly, and I am just going to give the back of the frame a quick coat. And then I do end up adding just some brown and a little bit of the white paint to give the back some texture. So now I'm just taking a piece of white cardstock that I have in my stash, and I'm going to just trace out a piece big enough to glue to the back of this to cover up the wording from the picture. Now this frame has some nails in it that was holding the back in place. So I just pulled those out and just take some hot glue and hot glue the back into place. And then once the back is secure, I just take that little clipboard picture hanger and just glue it right to the back of the picture itself. And now I'm just taking some greenery, and I am going to just kind of glue it to the top of the picture frame. And then I will add one of the burlap bows that I got from Hobby Lobby. And that will pretty much do it for this project. And here is the finished product. I think it is so beautiful, so precious. With God, all things are possible. Isn't that the truth? Let me know what you think of this. Now for this project, I kind of lost the footage, but it says, "Bless our home and all who enter." And all I did was just add some greenery and lavender and the beautiful bow. I think it's so adorable just as it is. And for this next project, this has to be my all-time favorite project ever. And I'll explain a little later on. But right now I am just going to weed this vinyl that I cut out with my Cricut. And now that I've got that finished, I'm taking this frame. It has the wording on it. It said out of office. But I just take a razor blade and I just scrape it off. It comes off fairly easy. Now once I get it all cleaned off, I'm just going to take some of this paper that I got from Hobby Lobby. It has musical notes all over it. It's absolutely gorgeous. I bought 3 sheets, which was all that they had. And it's a good thing I did because I did some messing up and did end up using all 3 of the pages. But here I'm just going to cut it out and then I just have to trim it down until it fits in the frame. Now I'm going to transfer the vinyl from the sheet onto the transfer tape and then onto the glass. And then I just put the transfer tape back on the backing so that I can reuse it again at a later date. Now, when I got this paper, I was kind of worried that with the wording, it was going to be too busy and the words weren't going to show up very well. And that indeed was the case. So I took some white paint and some orange paint and I just mixed it all together to get a very light orange, sort of the color of the backing of the paper. And I'm just going to take that and I'm going over the back side of the frame, so on the opposite side of the vinyl, and I'm just doing a light brushing with the very pale orange paint so that the wording will stand out. And now that the paint is all dry, I am just going to run a bead around the frame and I am going to glue the paper into place. And then I take some of the cardboard that came in the calendar itself just to give it a little more of a backing and just kind of secure everything, I guess. Now I thought it was just a little bit too plain, so I found some of these crosses, the laser cut crosses from Dollar Tree, and now I'm just trying to figure out which corner I want to put the cross in. And then when I decide, I just take my hot glue gun and put a couple of dots on the back to secure it to the frame. And then as you can see, I tried to add some of the orange paint to the cross, but it was all dried up, so that didn't work. So now I'm just taking some of the lace ribbon from Dollar Tree, and I'm just gonna go around 3 of the sides to actually give the frame a little more detail and texture. And then once that's done, I end up putting just a little bit of the lace on the front part of the frame at the bottom, because I am going to use this as like a tabletop standing picture. And I probably won't be hanging it on the wall, but if I do, I can always add a little hanger to the back later on. And then I make this little bow that I'm trying to decide where I'm going to place it. I do end up putting it in the bottom corner opposite of the cross. But in the end, I think it's too busy, so I do end up taking it off. And that's pretty much the end of this project. I just absolutely love it. We played this song, Go Rest High on That Mountain, at my father's funeral. And so it holds a special place in my heart and my family's heart. When we do listen to it, we always change the word from son to dad. So I do know that the wording is not right, but in my family, it's perfect. And then for this last project, I take one of the Mary signs that were out at Christmas and 3 of the wooden crosses from the Crafter's Corner. So I just take this sign and I'm going to pull out the little hanger. And then I just take some white chalk paint and I give it 2 coats to cover the words. And then I take some of the putty that I got from Dollar Tree as well, and I'm just going to fill in the holes at the top of the crosses where the hangers were. And then I take my antique wax from Waverly and I am going over the crosses, and I also have some of the little square blocks. I'm going to use 6 of those and I stain those as well. And then, oops, I stick my finger right in the paint. So I just do a little touch up there. And then I'm just going to take my heat gun and kind of help it along with the drying process. And then I just take the sponge and what is going to be the base, and I just kind of dry brush it. Now I'm just taking those blocks and I am gluing 2 of them together, and those will end up on the back of the crosses. And then I take the 3 crosses and line them up on the base so that they're standing evenly. And then I am going to just hot glue them together so that they're more stable. And now I'm just going to weed out the vinyl that I had cut on my Cricut. And now I'm just going to transfer the wording on the base. Of course, I get a little over anxious and don't wait for it to dry completely. So in the end, I do end up having to use a little bit of a glue stick to keep the words down on the base. And now I'm just going to glue the crosses onto the base. And then I end up taking a little bit of glue and just kind of go around the bottom of the crosses to give it a little bit more security. And then take some of the moss, the Spanish moss, and I glue that to the base as well. And then I go ahead and give it a haircut. Then I take some of the lace ribbon and I am going to just hot glue it to the back of the cross, and then I'm going to just trim the tails. And that is it for this project. I think it came out so beautiful. I absolutely love it. And I hope you guys do too. Please let me know what you think. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I want to thank Krafty Leeny and DIY with Nadia for allowing me to participate in this challenge. I had so much fun and it was so beautiful. Thank you all for watching. And if you have not visited my channel yet, I hope that you will consider doing so, and maybe hit that subscribe button and share this with your family and friends, and give it a big thumbs up. And I will see you next time. Bye.